With Diesel, we back up in this thing. It is Wednesday, July 8th. We had another interesting day in the market. We had a lot of volatility, a lot of ups, a lot of downs. Overall, today is a green day. I can't say too much about it because yesterday was a red day. So we kind of just back to break even. I lost $60 yesterday. Really, I had negative 120, but then I made a couple of plays that made up for it. So with the juxtaposition, we ended up negative 60 on the day. Today, we're closing positive 136. So really, we're only like $80 on the week, right? I had a green Monday, I had a red Tuesday, I had a green Wednesday. Nice little balance. But we're not here for balance. We're here for exponential growth. And that's what we're aiming for. But before we can get all of that, we got to make sure that we write and that we make repeatable moves. It's not about executing one time. It's about executing again and again and simplifying the plan into something you can easily repeat. And that's how successes are built. So we had a green morning, but not perfect execution. My cheat sheet, as always, was right as hell. It was right. The cheat sheet was right. The bearish thesis was right. But I left money on the table again by cutting my cleanest runners way too early. And with that being said, the reason I do it is to protect capital. My goal for the day is $50 a day over the course of 20 days. We have not been doing that. And the reason we have not been doing that is mainly because I overtrade. I take more trades than I need to, and I cut my winners way too early. So to stop doing that today, I just put more of my money where my mouth was, and I bought multiple contracts on Appl, and I just sold into strength. And then right after I made $100, I bought another contract for SPX, and I got a little scared because it started fluctuating, and I sold out for a $20 gain. And if I would have waited 5 minutes, it would have went from a $20 gain to a $150 gain. And if I would have waited an hour, let me just show you. If I would have waited an hour, the same contract that I sold for around $400 was over $1,100. Look at that right there. Look at that. It went to 1140. Let's see. It took a little minute though, so I'm not tripping off of it. 15, 30. It took about an hour. It took about an hour for it to go from $400 to $1,100. So yes, we were right. We left money on the table again, but we did not take any red trades or any losses. And I exceeded my goal. The goal for the day was $50 income. Instead, I made 136, I believe. Let me double check. 111. Yeah, 127, my bad. Off by $9. So first thing I noticed was there was a big sell-off for the most part. The S&P was red, NASDAQ was red, the Dow was red, QQQ was red, Tesla was red. Everything went red. So I was not about to start with calls. I was looking for puts to confirm off of the levels that were already on my cheat sheet. So actually, let me just pull up the cheat sheet because literally every level that I saw on the chart today was already on my watch list yesterday to have happen. So SPX broke 74.27. It went all the way down to 74.21. And I'll show you that. And wow, we got a nice 50-point recovery since then. But today, on the low of the day, we have 74.21, right? On the cheat sheet, I had it going to 74.27. So that was part of the downside I capitalized on. But like I'm saying, I sold out of it way too early. And so as a point of confluence, the 7,500 point, whenever SPX crosses above or below 7,500, just expect another 20, 30 point moves. That's pretty much my rule of thumb. And then QQQ, it got as low as 703. So it broke the 708 and the 706. I didn't get into it, but I saw it as low as 703. The thing is, with the way everything's trading today, it's already retraced to 706 and it's 708, and it's trying to find its way back to 712 currently. Right now, it's only 10 o'clock. The market's still open. If you're watching me right now, you can probably make money off of some of the stuff I'm about to say right now. And then the SPY as well. I made a little bit of bread off of the SPY because it broke down past the 746 level, the 745 level, and the 744 level. So I got into 741 puts and 740 puts. Like I said, everything was red. And so we had QQQ looking bearish last night. SPX was looking bearish yesterday. The SPY was in a neutral point, and then it broke below 746.30. So we took puts. Tesla is trying to recover, but every name on this list right now was red today if it's not still red. So yeah, the S&P 500 is currently red. The SPY is red. QQQ is still red. Tesla is red. Apple is the only thing on this list that has gone green, and it started off red. And it went from where was it? So my next level up for Apple is 314.22. Honestly, it's in a position to hit that right now. Honestly, look, I told y'all, this is still all in play. I'm about to go ahead and take the Apple call right now. I wasn't planning on trading anymore, but I'm gonna just take it real quick. Just actually, let me see how much it is before I say I'm gonna take it. Never mind, I'm not gonna take it. They don't have a 314. The closest is a 315, and I don't see 315 in play right this second. And like I said, I was done for the day, so we're gonna leave it at that. And so overall, last night's cheat sheet was right. We had Apple slightly bearish until it reclaimed. SPY was around 746, and that was the pivot area, and SPX was battling 7,500. All those levels mattered because all those levels were broken, right? SPY broke that 746. That's how we got down to 744. The S&P 500 fell below that 7,500, and that's how I was able to make some bread on the downside to that. And so today, my best play was probably my Apple put. Apple fell below, let's see. So right now we're on a reclaim for Apple, but I got into puts somewhere around here. Actually, that's a lot. I was not awake. I woke up at 7. No, that's right, 7:30. No, I'm so confused right this second. It doesn't even matter. Let me see. What time did I take this? What time did I take this? At 10:30. So 7:30. Okay, so I was close to being right. So here. All right. So right here is when I got into an Apple put for the 310. And honestly, I should have wrote it down further to 309, but I didn't, but I still made a quick little $90 pop. So yeah, this is at 10:30. So right here. So between these two candles is where I got into Apple. And you can see it literally was beautiful. A nice big red candle down, and I sold before it started going back up. That was my biggest money maker on the day, $90 off of that one contract. I bought in for 115, and I started selling around 172. And so, yeah, it literally matched the cheat sheet. It was right in the reclaim zones. The put volume was strong. You can see this candle was decently strong. The downside is decently strong on the day still. There we go. We just broke 314. Honestly, if that 315 gets hit, I'm not going to be upset because I said I was done for the day. But I will be like, dang, dog, I told you I could have been making money and I wasn't even trying to be traded. And then the next right trade would have been the S&P 500 and the SPY. So I had puts on those. And so Like I said, I had 75 or 74 tens. I had the 74 tens. We got within $10 range of that, and I had already sold the contract. So I went green, but I didn't capitalize by any means. And then also I had the 740 and 741 puts on the SPY, which again, we also broke below 740. I sold out of both of those before it broke actual levels, but we ended green on the day. So that's the bad, but it's still good. The ugly is the fact that I didn't stay in my QQQ call and the SPXW. And yeah, that's really it. So the lesson is when the market shows you a direction, don't argue with it and just go with it. You feel me? And so yesterday, that was part of the problem. I was trading all over the place. And so my main lesson is when I'm wrong, sometimes I hold too long, but when I'm right, I very often sell too soon. I very often sell too soon, especially when I'm right. So my next thing is just tightening up, maybe buy 2 or 3 contracts on the same ticker, and don't worry about making so many trades. Because if I would have just capitalized off of my 2 trades today, I would have made $1,200 as opposed to 126. You feel me? Green is green, learning is learning. My rule going forward: buy multiple contracts for real. And as long as we're above VWAP, above the 20 EMA, and still holding the candle structure, we still in it. All right. So for the rest of the day, I'm not really chasing anything. I'm gonna just watch some pivots, go ahead, look at the VWAP and the 20-day moving averages across some of my favorite movers, S&P 500, SPY, QQQ. I'm gonna keep an eye on Tesla and Apple, just to see how they're moving today and where the momentum is at and what levels it likes and rejects. But other than that, I'm not really looking for any more plays today. Like I said, my goal is $50 a day for 20 days. That's $1,100 while sitting here looking at a computer. So I'm going to save the full watch list for later on today until after market close so my levels can be more accurate. And that's all I really wanted to do. A quick little market recap. We had a decent little sell off, and now we're having a recovery. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but if you go and watch all 3 videos that I made this week, everything that I said was going to happen happened, including yesterday. I said we're going to have a drop and then a retrace. I didn't expect the same thing to happen today, but it did. Where we woke up, we were kind of even, everything started going red, and now it's retracing back to where it opened up to. And I'm not gonna lie, part of the reason I feel like this is happening is because people are waiting for things to happen in the market, and institutions and bigger levels know that, and they know that people are waiting to watch, and they know that a lot of stuff is going on geopolitically and in the news that's going to affect the market, and they know people are waiting for that to happen. So they're just going ahead and dropping everything really quickly and then raising it back up to where it was. So the drop ins can happen, but there's not too much fluctuation that holds. I don't know if that makes sense, right? Because people expect the markets to move, right? And so if I wake up tomorrow and I'm knowing that the market is expecting to go down, but the price that it's at now is also a price that I like, long story short, it's manipulation. I can't really, I'm going to think about how to explain the thought that I'm having and how to put it into a concept that makes sense easily. But in order to keep mass fear and panic out of the market while also factoring in the things that we know need to happen based off of history, trajectory, and people's comfortability, they're doing big ass sell-offs so people feel as if the prices are justified and that the high value points are justified, especially because we just had a sell-off. So it's just reclaiming, it's certifying, it's showing us again, whatever the case may be. uh, Anyways, we're gonna come back. We're gonna have a watch list ready for you later on tonight. We're gonna be looking to make some more money tomorrow, hoping to close out this challenge and a positive. And $50 a day is $250. So I have 2 more days this week to make like $150 in order to fulfill my $50 a day challenge. So my goal, or not my goal, my grade overall today was a B minus, B day, right thesis, green trades. Cheat sheet was perfect, and my trades aligned with what was on the cheat sheet, but my execution still needs to tighten up a little bit. And I need to execute and capitalize off of what I'm saying and the information that I have, because I'd be right as hell. The upgrade is simple: less panic selling, more planned trade management. And part of that is just being comfortable in the uncomfortability of unknown. You feel me? The volatility is real these days. Volatility is real.